Hello everyone and welcome to the latest episode of The Good, The Bad, The Score. I'm Collin.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we're going to be revisiting an older topic that we originally started with, is the delayed movie releases due to the coronavirus. Now originally we talked about how many movies were delayed and saying the original date, and there wasn't enough information about when they were actually going to come out. Now as time passed, we do have more information, and we're going to go into how these movies that got delayed, where are they going to be able to be seen, what days are they going to come out, and how we think of it. Now to start things off, Andrew, I'm going to go through in alphabetical order the finished products. These are the movies that already have a trailer out and were most likely finished or close to release. So I'm just going to rattle things off. The first one we have is A Quiet Place 2, which is going to come out March 8th. It's now going to come out September 4th. Black Widow, it was supposed to come out May 1st, and now it's going to come out November 6th. Candyman, June 12th. Now it's coming out September 25th. Fast 9, the 9th Fast and Furious movie, it was supposed to come out May 22nd of 2020. They pushed it nearly a year to April 22nd of 21. Free Guy, that was supposed to come out July 3rd. It's going to come out December 11th of this year. Got Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's supposed to come out July 10th. Now it's going to be pushed to next year to March 5th. In the Heights is supposed to come out June 26th. Now it's going to be bumped nearly a year later to June 18th of 2021. And finally, for this term, we have Jungle Cruise. It was supposed to come out July 24th. That one got pushed more than a year to July 30th of 2021. Now, Andrew, those are a lot of movies that we got into. What are your highlights? What are the ones that you want to begin talking about?
Well, I think like we said back in our first episode about Quiet Place Part 2, we both agreed that was more of a fall movie, and I think it makes sense to put it in September. We need some, horror movies in the fall, and I think Quiet Place 2 will do perfectly well, I think, during that time. Free Guy, I could see that being a good holiday movie to watch. I like that. Fun. It seems like, from the looks of it, it seems like a fun movie. So I think that works pretty well with that. Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think that's a pretty fair game, putting that in March. I can totally see that being put into March. In the Heights, I was sad to hear that's getting pushed back another year. I was looking forward to that movie, because that really seems like a perfect summer movie. But I'm glad to see that it is still going to be coming out in the summer. Jungle Cruise, I'm surprised that actually got pushed back into a year from now. I thought maybe they could have squeezed that in like late August, maybe in September. Here's what I think about Here's what I think about Black Widow, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm okay with this movie being pushed back to November. I know that a lot of these Marvel films are considered to be like in the summer and all that, but I personally think, as an MCU fan, I think we need a break right now from the MCU. We had so much movies happen last year with Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, and I just think we just need a little break right now before we get into Phase 4.
I think A Quiet Place 2 was a big significant one, because that was the first one where, not with the first delay, but the first release where we hit the release date and it didn't come out. I agree with you, the idea it got pushed to September, where normally they had It Chapter 1 and 2. That was a smart idea. Black Widow, again, all these MCU movies pretty much got pushed up a slot, so each film took over another film's slot. Fast and Furious 9, that's another one to where that's such a summer franchise that they couldn't have released it any other time other than the summer. And I would say, like you say, In the Heights I was so looking forward to. I was disappointed that one didn't get delayed not a whole year. I think if it wasn't for West Side Story, the Steven Spielberg remake of the famous musical, to come out in December, I would have think they would have put it in that December slot. But seeing how it wants to kind of own the summer as the summer musical, I'm glad that they chose that spot. So Andrew, let's continue on this list. The finished productions movies, there's a trailer out for it and it got pushed back.
All right, so we have Minions Rise of Gru. That's supposed to come out July 30th, 2020 of this year. And now it's being pushed back a year from now in July 2nd of 2021. We have Morbius. That was supposed to be July 31st of this year, and now it's pushed back into March of 19th, 2021. Mulan, they have decided to push it back of July 24th of this year. Then you got No Time to Die being pushed to November 25th of this year. And then you have Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, coming out on January 15th of 2021. Then we have Soul. That's going to be pushed back now from June of this year to November 20th, 2020. Then you got Top Gun Maverick, which is supposed to be from June 24th, 2020. And now it's being pushed to December 23rd, 2020. And now you got, finally, Wonder Woman 1984 from June 5th, 2020 to August 14th of this year.
So the second half of this list has a lot of movies that kind of represent something. Mulan, that was the same thing. It was the Disney live action remake. Same as Quiet Place, where we were supposed to get that movie a lot sooner than the delayed was supposed to happen. The idea that they're still trying to push that for a summer release is very interesting. No Time to Die, that's very much the big one, the first one to push back its release date. The idea for Soul, the new Pixar movie, I'm not surprised that Disney and Pixar want to try and make sure that Soul has a great release window so that it has the chance to kind of make the money that Onward failed to get. And I would say Wonder Woman 1984, that's another one to where I would group it in with Mulan in the regards of those are the ones that they're trying to push it as like we're going to be one of the first ones to release for the summer. So Mulan, Wonder Woman 84, and then another title we'll get into at the end. Those are like going to be the only three big summer blockbusters. Hopefully that we get to the world opens up by July. Morbius, I was very much interested in that one too. I was surprised at first that it got pushed to then and not just to October and like Venom, like where Venom was originally supposed to come out. But seeing how they clearly want the audiences to see Morbius first, then Venom, and how they don't really want to be overcrowded with other titles, it was a smart move to push that to March.
Well, here's what I'm a little concerned about. It kind of seems like to me as I'm looking through this list again, November seems to be the new month of May, where there's a bunch of big movies coming out. I really want to see James Bond do well. I mean, I'm sure Black Widow will do well. I am concerned that if we do get back to our normal life, that these movies are not going to really make the money that they were hoping to earn or that they were anticipating. To me, James Bond being November was always the month for those movies to come out. That's how they've always been in the previous movies. They've all been released in the fall. If Black Widow could possibly have an impact on it, I don't think it necessarily will, but I just kind of like to see this movie get its last moment, especially with Daniel Craig. Apparently it's his last movie, but we'll see if that goes through. Morbius, I think that works because we don't know. Who knows how good Morbius is going to be? So we need a good movie for the summer. So I trust that a movie like Mulan or Tenet that we will be talking later soon is probably a more stronger movie than Morbius, in my opinion. Here's the thing about Mulan. I'm glad to see that it's standing strong and that they're determined as of right now to push this into the summer and be released. But I mean, we're 2 months away, and how things are looking still, I mean, it seems like it's okay, but it's not getting there yet. I'm a little bit on ease about Mulan being in July, but I really hope it will go through in July. If they were to push this back, I mean, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm glad to see that Disney is holding their ground. They're not putting these movies on streaming yet because I really want to see a movie like Mulan on the big screen. Top Gun Maverick being December, it just feels like a summer movie to me, but I understand the situation of that. We'll have to figure out and see. But I'm really pulling for James Bond and Mulan. I'm sure Black Widow will do fine. All right, so now let's go into our other part of the list. So for our next movie delays, so we had the Batman. So that was supposed to be from June 25th of 2021 next year. Now they're gonna push that back into October of 2021. Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness, which that was supposed to come out of May of next year. Now that's being pushed back to March of 2022. The Eternals, another Marvel movie, part of Phase 4, I believe. That was supposed to come out this year, which I was looking forward to that too, just like every Marvel fan. And now that's being pushed back from November 6th to February 12th of 2021. Then we got Fatherhood. It's the Kevin Hart movie that's been moved off to January 15th, 2021. And then it's going to be pushed back to April 2nd of next year. The Flash was supposed to be moved from July 1st, 2022 to June 3rd, 2022, which I don't know why they're making a Flash movie, but that's a joke. Mission Impossible 7 was supposed to come out July 23rd, 2021. Now it's being pushed to November 19th of the same year. Then you got Mission Impossible 8. That was supposed to come out a year later. That's supposed to be August 5th, 2022. And now it's being pushed back to November 4th of 2022. Happy election day to that. All right.
Hey,
I'm going to just give my intake first. The Batman. You know what? As much as I love seeing a Batman movie in the summer, I think it actually works in October. And I'll tell you why, Colin. Joker. Joker did very well in October. If Joker can do well that same month, then the Batman can do it. And I think that's a good movie. You know, Batman's a dark character. I mean, it's a character that dresses in a Halloween costume, so it's Bat, so it's like a vampire. I mean, he's not a vampire, so I think that works really well in October. Doctor Strange, I think, will do good. It's a Marvel movie. Everyone, I mean, I know March can be a busy month with St. Patrick's Day coming up, people drinking all that on the street. You know what? They'll have a good time seeing Doctor Strange in March. The Flash, that's a joke. I don't know. I'm just surprised now that DC is still trying to top over Marvel. It's just never gonna happen. Mission Impossible. I guess they're making a two-part thing, like an Infinity War and Endgame type of thing, where it comes out a year later. I guess Tom Cruise is gonna get turned to ash in the 7th one, and then he's gonna resurrect in the 8th movie. I don't know. I remember Mission Impossible 4 coming out in the fall season. And that did actually exceptionally well. And you know what? Why not? Let's make November a spy month with James Bond. And now you put Mission Impossible there, so let's call it Spy Month Novembers. So
you make a good point there.
Yeah.
How for the next 3 years we're gonna have a spy movie in November. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it, as we mentioned, how all these MCU movies, they got pushed up to a different release date. So the idea that Doctor Strange, it was going to be May 7th, is going to go to March of the next year. Clearly, production delays cause it to happen. And the idea that you want it to where they can make the best possible product, not try and rush it and meet their release date. You got stuff like Batman, where the idea of the summer movie season for like big movies is clearly dying at this point, seeing how the big movies that were supposed to come out in the summer for the next couple years are clearly trying to find different release spots where they can shine no matter what. So, Andrew, like you said with Joker, where it did fantastic in the month of October, so I just think, you know what, Batman will do the same. Fatherhood and, to a certain extent, Flash are an interesting issue. Originally, Fatherhood was pushed up to December of this year. So originally, it got pushed from its January 15th to like a November or December. I might be wrong on that, but the idea that they went back on it is like, okay, we'll do it to April, shows it how like these studios are really trying their best to push their releases to hit for this year, but clearly it really doesn't matter the release date. It just matters about the quality of release. And then, Andrew, like I said, Mission Impossible 7 and 8. Clearly, there's going to be an intertwined story where those two connect. Why is Flash, not only is it with the drama with Ezra Miller, which is a completely different video, but that's the only one that, at this point, they moved it up to June instead of July. With all this drama, I'm shocked that that one, they still set a release date on it, even though there's so much controversy behind it now. So let's move on to the next set. We have Raya and the Last Dragon, the new Disney princess movie. It's supposed to come out November 25th of this year. They pushed it to March 12th of next year. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That was supposed to come out February of next year. It got pushed to May 7th, so it's gonna start the summer movie season off next year. Shazam 2, that was supposed to come out April 1st, 2022. I'm just ashamed because that was a perfect. It comes out on April Fool's Day, and they pushed it to November 4th of 2022. What a shame. That for April Fools, that kind of fit the movie a little bit. Thor: Love and Thunder is supposed to come out November 5th of 2021. Got pushed to February 18th of 2022. So you could take your lady to see Thor: Love and Thunder. The Tomorrow War, the new Chris Pratt action movie, it was supposed to come out Christmas of this year, so it got pushed to July 23rd of next year. Now we're gonna get into some Untitled movies to show just how far in the distance they are. We got the new Untitled Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones 5. It was supposed to come out July 9th of next year, 2021. It's gonna come out July 29th of 2022. We had the Untitled Spider-Man 3. That was supposed to come out July 16th of 2021. Now it's gonna come out November 5th of 2021. We got this Into the Spider-Verse sequel, something I'm very much looking forward to. That was supposed to come out April 8th of 2022. Now it's gonna come out October 7th of 2022. So we have to wait even longer for the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. Next we have Uncharted.
I don't know why don't they got computers at their homes? These guys, these animators.
Yeah, but there's probably, with how it is, they'll probably start writing in stuff. They can only use so much, and we'll get into that in a second. We got two more. Uncharted, the new the video game adaptation starring Tom Holland, which has been in development hell for so long. It was moved from March 5th of 2021 of next year. Now it's going to come out August 8th of 2021. So it's going to be a summer movie. It's going to bookend the summer for next year. And then finally, Venom: Let There Be Carnage. It was supposed to come out October 2nd of 2020. Now it's going to come out June 25th of 2021. I mostly want to talk about the Untitled stuff. So Untitled Indiana Jones, the two Spider-Man properties, and I'll even throw in Venom in that case. Those movies really are the least kind of dire to be pushed back, seeing how they don't even have a title for it yet. And you make a good point with Spider-Verse, how it's an animated movie, how they could be working on it from home. One thing that you don't know, especially for innovative film like Spider-Verse, a lot of the times these animators don't have the right equipment at home. As much as they have a high-end computer, they don't have as high-end computer as they do at work. These animated movies take so much rendering, so much time, a big computer that can handle it. If these animators tried to work on it from home, it would explode the computer. Venom, there's clearly something to where they want audiences to see Morbius first and then Venom. Like I said, I'm surprised that Morbius didn't just go to the October 2nd slot that Venom had, but clearly it wants room to kind of be its own thing and not be overcrowded. So Andrew, your thoughts on this list?
I hope Indiana Jones happens because I hope Harrison Ford is still alive if this movie gets made.
I didn't even think, oh my god, you're thinking dark.
You don't know what can happen to you now with this freaking virus spreading, but I would like to see Indiana Jones 5 happen. I don't think there should be an Indiana Jones 5, but I do want to see it happen. I want to see Harrison Ford get the last whip. I really want to see a third Spider-Man movie happen for once. Because it didn't happen with the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and I hope it seems like we're having trouble again with the third one, with the whole BS situation. What you said about the Spider-Verse sequel with the computers. Well, why don't they just like take the computers there and have it shipped home to them?
It's $1,000 equipment. It's not a simple desktop.
The studio,
There's
okay, the studio can like give it to them.
Hard drives of things that kind of help with the render.
Uncharted, just started playing the Uncharted games, and I'm a little stuck on a level, but I'm hoping I'm gonna get through it. I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty exciting. Putting that in August makes a lot of sense. Playing the Uncharted games so far, it feels like a summer movie. They're outside in the freaking heat. There's like water and beaches everywhere, so why not? I hope the Venom sequel is promising. I'm a little skeptic about Woody Harrelson being in there. I think he's getting a little bit overexposed a lot these days in movies, but I have confidence he can pull up that accent again of his and just go on rambling as the Carnage guy. I like how Venom talks. We will eat your face. Like a turd in the wind. All right, everybody. So now we're getting close to the end of the list. We're almost there, guys. Just hold on. Here's the second to last part of the list, a portion of the list that we have. We're going to go through have not been announced yet, unfortunately. But we have Spiral from the Book of Saw. That was a sequel to Saw, and I believe Chris Rock was in it, Colin, right?
Yeah, he has a big part in the new Spiral Saw reboot.
That's funny. All right. It was supposed to come out May 15th. It was actually supposed to come out next week, believe it or not. So now that's being pushed back, so we don't know when that's going to happen. The Woman in the Window. That was supposed to be coming out next week. Next week. And now there's no announcement for it. We don't know when it's going to come out because all these movies now are all crumpled together.
Spiral, Book of Saw, I could see that being pushed to October, but then again, they do have the new Halloween, so they'll probably push that. Honestly, I could see next year. All right, so let's move on to the final list, the straight to VOD. These are the ones that have just said, you know what, we're skipping the theatrical window and we're just gonna put it on demand. The first one we'll talk about is Artemis Fowl, a Disney movie based on the beloved children's book, I believe. It was supposed to come out May 29th in theaters. They pushed it to June 12th, but it's going to premiere on Disney+. You have The Lovebirds. That is the Kumail Nanjiani love comedy. It's supposed to come out April 3rd, so we would already saw it. Now it's going to come out May 22nd, and it'll debut on Netflix. You have My Spy, the Batista kids sort of movie. It's PG-13, so it's kind of weird. It got moved to April 17th, and it's on Amazon. So if you want to watch Batista act like a spy in a inappropriately rated movie for kids, go watch My Spy. Finally, you got Scoob. That was supposed to come out May 15th, and it's still going to come out May 15th, but just on streaming. Which brings us to also Trolls World Tour, which kickstarted this. There's a whole controversy with that movie with Universal and the movie theaters. That was supposed to come out April 3rd in theaters, and it came out April 3rd, but on streaming devices, apparently it did well enough. I think otherwise. I have some research. I saw some videos saying that it honestly, no matter how well it could have done on demand, it couldn't have beat the theater and the amount of money it would have made then. So, Andrew, before I get into my thoughts on these releases, what are you thinking about these VOD?
Artemis Fowl, absolutely should be on Disney Plus. I had no interest in seeing that movie. I don't think nobody was even excited about that movie in the first place, in my opinion. I didn't see the movie getting any big hype. The trailers didn't appeal to me, and I think it was smart of them putting it on Disney Plus, because I think if it was out if they were released in theaters, I think it would have gotten hurt really, really bad. So I think that was a good move on Disney putting that on the streaming services. Will be interesting to see how well that does. Maybe I'm wrong, but that movie does not look appealing to me whatsoever, and good job, Disney. You finally did something right. I think what I'm really more heard about is Scoob. I really was looking forward to seeing that on the big screen. I was excited. I like this. I like the Scooby-Doo series and movie. I love that. I thought the trailer to this animated film that they were going to be releasing looked really appealing. I mean, it still does. I mean, I definitely want to watch it when it comes on demand, but I really would have loved to have watched this on the big screen. I was looking forward to it. I think it really could have been a really great family movie to go see on the big screen. I think it would have appealed to a lot of audiences, not just the new generation, but a lot of the older generation as well. And Trolls 2, we said this earlier, I personally felt like it was okay to put it on streaming. I was okay with it. I mean, the reality is, too, with a lot of these family movies, I mean, we got to think about, for a lot of these young kids who are now home, they can't go out, they can't do anything. So, at least Hollywood is trying to find the best possible way to entertain people, not just on the big screen, but on the small screen now. So, in the end, all said and done, I think it was a decision that was hard to make, but I think it was a good decision to put a lot of these families, children's movies on streaming services.
One thing that I find with these VOD releases is that I would say that with the exception of Scoob, it seems like it's such like the dumping grounds. Like, we don't really have enough faith in finding a different release window, so we're just gonna put it out on Netflix or to rent for $20. I think Trolls 2 especially, like how that seemed like such the bottom of the barrel kids film that I bet if they tried to find a different release, it probably would have just got sucked up, and like parents were like, I'm out of all the movies that like I'm being cautious on taking my kids to, Trolls, they can wait till they're home to see it. I think Scoob, on the other hand, is different because that one, while it looks promising, you have a bigger, I think Scoob has a much bigger audience because not only do you have the kids who would want to see it, but you have adults who grew up with Scooby-Doo, whether the original, the live action, or whatever. So I think that one is going to be the true testament on how the streaming service system works compared to a theatrical release. And again, I think My Spy, I think Dumping Ground, that got delayed multiple times, like New Mutants, and they just threw it on Amazon. Honor's Foul, I think after that also got delayed. It was supposed to come out last summer. There was zero hype for that movie. I agree with you, Andrew. The trailers did not look appealing. Put on Disney Plus. And Lovebirds, I think the same thing, to where comedy is kind of slowly leaving the cinemas, and that's again another discussion for another day. So I think releasing that on Netflix would make for a fun date night. And finally, the last thing we're going to talk about is Tenet, the one movie to try and save the cinemas. That's the one movie where it has not been delayed. It's still going to come out in July, and it is standing its ground saying, if the theaters are open, we're releasing Tenet. So, Andrew, what do you think of that? Do you think Tenet is the appropriate movie that realistically will be the movie to start back up the cinemas again?
Tenet, listen, I think I love Christopher Nolan. We all love Christopher Nolan. Every young person in America loves Christopher Nolan now because that's all who they talk about as one of their favorite directors. I think I'm excited about this movie. I am concerned that this movie is to be holding its ground in mid-July to really be the spark of bringing movies back into the theaters again. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm very concerned. You know, some parts of the country is doing okay, while some parts, like for our state in New Jersey and even New York, it's not doing too great so far. I know there's other parts as well. Maybe if the cases drop by the end of the month, a little bit more, maybe I might have more confidence, but I'm kind of skeptic how I feel about it. I know Christopher Nolan wants to hold on to it, but I mean, there's a lot of things that you gotta talk about with these movie theaters too, with keeping the seats clean and the social distancing being also for that situation of people trying to view movies at the big screen. I want to see this movie, I do, but like, if things are not looking good next month, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Chris. Like, I don't know.
Tenet took $205 million to make, so yeah, for a movie like that, to where it doesn't have name recognition, the stars in it aren't really they can't really sell a movie. It's John David Washington and Robert Pattinson. They're not really ones that can, they're in that movie, I gotta go see it. So it's gonna be interesting, especially how not much has been revealed about what Tenet's about. So I'm really curious to see how that works. I think no matter what though, it's not gonna make as much money as it would have if all this didn't happen. I'd like to thank everyone for watching this latest episode of The Good, the Bad, the Score. Please follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then just search Good Bad Score, just all one word, Good Bad Score, you'll find us. And make sure to follow, subscribe, anything to kind of keep updated, so when we release something, you'll be the first one to know. Yep,
and be sure to check out our previous reviews as well. We even just recently did Iron Man, so check out the review, and we got more of the MCU movies to be coming out soon. So
definitely, so go check out back catalog, leave us a comment, tell us what you thought, your opinion, and we'll see you next time. Once again, I'm Collin.
And I'm Andrew.
And be safe, wash your hands, and have a great day.